Hello Year 7 and welcome along to our next lesson when we're looking at search engines, and today we're going to look at a little bit at how search engines actually find the websites that you are searching for. So on our rubric we can see we are understanding how search engines rank results. So that's the area of the curriculum we are looking at. So let's crack on. So when we use a search engine, it's really useful for us to think about the words we use to search online. These are our keywords, these are our search terms. These keywords are what help the search engine get the right website for us to find the information we are looking for. So if you use too few words, you might not get the right information. If you use too many words, you might get too much information about not the right thing. So it's really important we cut down our keyword search to just the things we want to find out about. So let's say we want to find out about what countries did the Vikings raid. Now you could type in that whole sentence. You could type in what countries did the Vikings raid. But actually there's too many words in that. There are things, what did the are unnecessary words. They are in lots of websites. So if you typed all that in, your search engine is probably going to ignore some of those keywords. So you can save a bit of time by just picking out those keywords. So countries, Vikings, raid are the things we're interested in. If we type in those, we are going to find websites that contain information about the countries that Vikings raided without having to type out the whole thing. Okay, so search words, really important. Our search engine is going to use those words to find the websites we want. But how does it know which websites have got those words in it? So this is where something called a web crawler comes in. So a web crawler is a program that works all the time to visit websites. So web crawlers are constantly going around the web visiting websites. And when they get to that website, they read what is on that website. So they look at what words are written on that website. They also look at what links there are on that website, what other websites link to that website, how many visitors that website is going to get, what the titles in that website say, what the text in that website says. And it makes an index of all this information. And it writes down this against the URL, the Uniform Resource Locator, the www.address of that website. So it knows at this address we have these words. So when you type in your country's Viking raid, it's going to look through its index and it's going to find all of the websites that have those words in the text of that website. Now, lots of web crawlers are constantly going around the internet all the time. They visit new websites that have just gone on. They visit old websites to see if there have been any changes. They are constantly updating that index. So when you search, instead of the search engine having to go all the way around the internet to find the websites, it's already got a list that it can check against. It's already got that index created by the web crawler that it can check against. Now, some websites are private. They're not open to web crawlers, and therefore they don't show up in your search terms. Okay, so some websites won't turn up on a search engine because they're not listed and they're not visited by web crawlers, but most websites are public and therefore they are. So what I like to imagine, instead of thinking about programs visiting websites, which is a bit of a hard one to get your head around, I imagine there's these little creatures that go around the internet looking at websites, finding out what's on them for us. So here you can see my web crawler in my head. It looks a bit like that. And it's going and it's visiting all the different web pages and finding out what information is on each one for us. So what I would like you to do is I'd like you to make your own visual representation of what a web crawler does. So use some images to create your own web crawler comic. So you could download some images to do that. Or you could draw your own web crawler machine. So use your imagination. What does one look like? The goal is to describe the task of a web crawler. So what does it do? And then the challenge is to research how search engines make up the web crawler index. So your vocab is web crawler, search engines, URL and browser. Best of luck guys, and I will see you again soon.